Guys, so thank you for tuning in. This is a Big Al Devlin video here at the House of Devlin, and this video is a bit of a different one compared to normal because it's about poltergeists and the fact that I believe my girlfriend's house is haunted. I have some proof so far, almost. You could just, it's not proof as such because it's easily discountable, but I'm going to try and get proof by going to buy a camera, which is what I'm going to do today. Now, I don't live here. This is my girlfriend's house, so I only visit, so I'm not here every night. I stayed for a little while, you know, the tiny period of time, when she first moved in, because she was hearing all these noises, and I said, oh, they're just like the noises of it being in a new house. Anyone who's moved house will know that when you go to a new house, it's always different. You know, there's noises to get used to, the boiler, the pipes in the wall, things like this, right? So we've been logical about this, but we're not hysterical. But we're not discounting logic or anything like that. We've not jumped straight to conclusion that the house is haunted just because there's the odd random ambient noise. We're jumping to the conclusion that the house is haunted for damn good fucking good reasons, okay? And I'm going to give you these reasons in a minute. I'm trying to think really where to start. Basically, usually it happens at night when we go to the bedroom when I'm here, and it happens in the morning when we wake up first thing in the morning at exactly 7:58. Okay, that's how regular and how frequent this is. Every time I've been here, the noises have started at 7:58, or the disturbances, so I say, because it's more than just noise. We have a dog, as you know, called Arlo. Lovely young Staffordshire Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And basically what happens is when we first go to bed, this isn't guaranteed, but most of the time when we go to bed, or Lauren goes to bed, she tells me, she rings me, I've just heard that noise again, and on that, I'll say, just keep in your room, keep safe, you know. She texts me or rings me or whatever, and I say, don't worry, there's nothing it can do to you, okay? Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but you just got to live through it, haven't you? But at the in the kitchen especially, that seems to be the hot spot. There are drawers and cupboards opening up during the night and in the morning. I can say that because I've been there, closed them all at night after they've all opened, and in the morning they'll be back open again during the morning's noises and stuff like this. And not only that, things will have been thrown or pulled, I suppose, out of the cupboard, and they have been thrown with enough force that they've not hit the worktop underneath the cupboards. So, you know, there's definitely something going on there, and I'm going to get a proper video camera that can, you know, be plugged in and film all night, you know, on a memory card or whatever. So not necessarily to put it on here on YouTube, although if we find something, we may very well put it on here on YouTube. I consider it my girlfriend's video, not my video, so it's her choice whether it goes up here on YouTube. But I think she wants it up. I think she wants it up. I think she wants to see what other people think, because, you know, when other people say, "Oh shit, that looks real," you know, she wants the comfort knowing that it's not just her going nuts, you know what I mean. Obviously she's got myself as well. Now I'm going to tell you of not last night, but last night there was a noise immediately as soon as we went to bed, and I've got the video footage straight after this to show you what has caused the noise, and it's tins and drawers and stuff like that, okay? But the night before, because it's the weekend at the moment, I've stayed here 2 nights in a row. the it was one of the worst experiences that we've ever had. It was horrible. It was terrifying. It's hard for me because I'm obviously thinking it's people breaking in. This actually happened during the day initially. It started during the day. Okay, so it started around about 5 or 6 in the afternoon. So late afternoon, early evening, but it was still bright outside, and we hear two crashes essentially, like thuds. That's the better word. Really a massive thud that the dog immediately reacts to, runs straight out of the door in the lounge, barking, really aggressively, like it's gonna, and I'm up and out, and I'm checking the front door, making sure someone hasn't, because this is a hot spot for burglary, this area. So and someone was burgled when Lauren first moved in. They drilled the locks out and came in with knives and forced them to give them their car keys and stuff. So this place is a hot spot for burglary, and so it's something that's always in the back of your head, and it's probably why I do try and spend as much time here as possible. I only work down the road, so I spend time during the day here, and I spend, maybe a couple of nights during the week. It's hard because obviously I've got to stay at my own place as well, but I spend as much time as I can that I'm allowed to. But it's hard because there was these two big thuds, and initially I just didn't know where they were coming from, and it sounded like, if I'm honest, it was coming from the attic, and I was too shit scared in some ways to go up in that attic. I said to my girlfriend, I said, I'll go up in there if you want me to. You asked me to, I'll go up there. He said, no, don't stay here. So I stayed down. But I was going to go up in the attic, but I probably would have just found things that had fallen over or something. And I go, yeah, something's fallen over, and discounted it. But we've been hearing these thuds randomly, but these are big thuds, like someone coming up to your door and kicking them as hard as possible, like reverberating the door frame and things like this. Really big thuds. But it didn't stop there. Okay, it didn't stop there at all. It continued, and basically that night we were asleep, and I kind of hear Arlo, our dog, get up out of the bed and trot off. We leave the bedroom door open for him so that he's got a little bit of room if he wakes up before us to sort of walk around, because he would start barking in the middle of the night, and we didn't know why, because obviously he can hear things that we can't hear, and it was obviously noises in the kitchen and stuff like this, because the noises haven't been as loud at the beginning. Then obviously when Lauren is here by herself, which is the mass majority of the time, I assume the doors are closed. But when I'm here, we have the door open so the dog can go out and go. I thought initially go chase the burglar down, or the attempted burglar down, but then I've realised now that it's actually. Did you hear that? The door just slammed. We'll keep it closed. Okay, so it's just the door over there. I'm gonna put it down to wind. Okay, I'm gonna put it down to wind. I was just making sure my dog didn't get locked out. That was all. We'll put that down to wind, even though there's no wind today. There's no wind at all. There's not even a cloud in the sky. I can see it through the window here. I've got a window on my left here, and yeah, I hope you heard that. The thing is, the problem is you get paranoid the longer it gets on, and every noise you just put down, oh, it must be the ghost. Normally I would be like, oh shit, what's that? Just go check it out. Oh, that's the wind. okay? But you start to get paranoid after a while, because this is happening all the time, as I say, during the day, during the night. It's pretty spooky stuff. And I was telling you about the worst night, wasn't I? We, 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 we keep the door open, and Arlo, we hadn't had any disturbances when we first went to bed. There was no banging or anything like that. But this was during the middle of the night at 1 o'clock. I remember it was 1 o'clock because it woke me up so much that I couldn't go back to sleep. I just went and sat on watch telly all morning, all night and stuff, because I just couldn't get back to sleep. When you're that awake, you just can't go back to sleep. So Arlo went down the hallway. Well, I stayed up to 3 o'clock and then went back to bed. But Arlo went down the little hallway that's outside the bedroom and starts growling and starting getting aggressive. I'm thinking, you stupid dog. As you do. You don't. You trust your dog, but at the same time, he's been doing it quite a lot, He's crying. Why is my dog crying? Why are you crying, baby? No, okay. He's in the bedroom crying. I don't know why. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Don't make any noise, Daddy's on camera, yeah? Okay? Okay, so, yeah, he obviously feels a bit spooked out at the moment. Maybe that slamming of the door was something more. Maybe me talking about it is provoking the situation. But he went down the hallway, and I don't know if you heard that whimpering that you just heard there. He was walking, growling, and then you hear this woman's voice, and the woman's voice goes, "Ay, ay, 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 ay," like trying to calm the dog down, "Ay, ay, ay," with a slight accent. It's a typical British accent from a region just north of here, and I just remember him started whimpering. Then he went from barking and being really aggressive to "Ay, ay, ay," and I heard him. You can hear his feet on the floor, running back towards the bedroom. He ran into the bed. Jumped on top of me, got onto the other side of me, buried himself under the quilt, and he went run like that with his head on my arm, and forced my arm over him, so I was protecting him. And I thought, fuck. Nah, I wasn't scared. I was too tired. I couldn't be arsed. I was just like, for fuck's sake. And as I say, I stayed there for a while, and then I just got up. I got up and went to one of the other rooms where there's a telly, and just spent the next sort of couple of hours just trying to time my eyes out. When you're looking at a TV screen, your eyes get tired out. Went back to bed. Then in the morning after, it goes crazy. It goes crazy. About 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'd only had 5 hours sleep by this point. Uninterrupted sleep, that is. No, sorry, from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. 3 hours sleep, three uninterrupted hours of sleep. I go, and there's banging all in the kitchen. You can hear so many bangs and stuff like this, and you just shouting, "Shut up, stop it, leave us, go away." Because by this point we'd been convinced. By this point we'd already heard voices. Like I've left where I am thinking like that my girlfriend's called me, because I've heard a woman's voice, and she said, no, I haven't called you. And I'm like, okay, and go back, and she's actually come to my room as well, and said, what's going on? I go, what do you mean? I said, well, I heard a woman's voice or whatever. I said, oh, I haven't. So there's a woman's voice that is actually making very distinct sounds and words randomly. It's not happening too often, but we're definitely hearing a woman's voice and mistaking it, obviously, like you would do, like a normal person, for a real person, the other person in the house. I mean, I have a fairly deep voice, but when you talk to your girlfriend, you might go, hey, Baba, come here, So you sound a bit more feminine, don't you? When you're talking to your woman when you're with yourself. So she actually thought it was me, and this woman's voice isn't the highest pitched voice. It's fairly deep for a woman's voice. Yeah, it sounds like a woman who's had cigarettes and alcohol for the last 15, 20 years at least. Good alcohol as well, so some of the strong stuff. If you're going to drink, might as well drink properly, I suppose. But it sounds like that. As I say, especially with the accent and stuff. It may just be the accent giving that impression, but it's not the highest of voices. It's deep enough to be similar enough to mine, but high enough to be similar enough to my girlfriend's, and so we're getting confused when we hear this voice. But it's 100% definitely a woman's voice, and as I say, that night, there's banging, and you say leave it, okay, and the banging stops temporarily, and then it gets worse because I said, "Oh, fuck off!" I'll send, I'm starting to get aggressive. I'm commanding it. My girlfriend, stop being nasty to it. Be nice, and it'll react better. I'm like, no, you've got to tell these things. Who's boss? You got to tell them that they're dead, and you got to tell them that they got to go. It's as simple as that. And she's like, no, you got to be nice. You got to be nice. Stop being nasty. And so I'm being nasty, but every time it bangs, and then you get like maybe a minute to 5 minutes rest, and then all of a sudden the bang, it comes back, and it's even louder and even bigger than before. And then all of a sudden, the dog, you see him, he sits up at the end of the bed, and you can see him like, when they're following something, and he's looking at where the doorway is, which we can't see. It's sort of in a little crevice, but it's open. We keep it open, as I say, when I'm here. And he's watching something obviously come in through the doorway towards and he's looking at the foot of the bed, and then he just starts going like that at the foot of the bed, and I just go, leave, and then the dog stops, and that was it for the night. Went into the kitchen in the morning, and it was worse than what it was today. What I'm going to show you immediately after this is a tiny amount, but it was worse than what it was today. There was mushy peas on the floor, tins, every single cupboard was open. Obviously they've been opening and closing, slamming. My girlfriend's, I believe you call it a commode, which she uses as a seat when she's cooking and cleaning, because obviously she can't stand properly. She can stand for like maybe 20 seconds before it's too much, and even sitting down on the commode, it hurts her back. She has to be sat down in a proper seat that's been designed for her. But it's better than nothing. It means at least she can't fall over. So she uses that commode to get around in the kitchen. And that had been thrown from where it is in the video where I show you now, to the opposite side of the wall, and it was facing the wall. Where your legs would be was against the wall. That was the worst night, and that was, I think last night. No, not last night. The night before. This is my last night here for a whole week now. Probably. Until the weekend at least, at the earliest. So I want to make sure it's safe for my girlfriend, and I want to set it up so I just tell her, look, just click play when you come in the morning, click pause, keep it charged, swap the memory cards around. I'll show her how to do it, and I'll get her to manage the filming in the kitchen, because that seems to be the hot spot. If we can get proof that there's something obviously opening the cupboards and stuff, then that's the first step towards doing something, whatever it might be. And it's also, I suppose, for you guys on YouTube, you get to see what we're seeing, and it confirms to us that we're not going nuts. We're not going nuts, because we've been through enough over the last 2 years anyway. We've been through enough. But and we don't need a ghost making things worse. And the weird thing is just the background behind the property itself. I didn't know this until yesterday, but this house is this property used to be owned by an old lady who died a couple of days ago. It was owned by her, but then her son decided to rent it out while she was in hospital. She was obviously terminally ill, and she was in care. And while she was in care, he was renting out the property. I assume, I think that was what was going on. Anyway, or she'd given permission for it to be rented out, whatever. Either he owns the property, she signed it over to him, but she was living here, or she owned the property and he was being allowed to rent it out on her behalf. But yeah, she died roughly 10 days before me making this video here now. We found that out because we received a letter saying that the property needs to be valued, and we thought, oh god, we're getting kicked out, the person selling the property, and he assured us it's just because his mum's just died, and he has to have the place valued for death tax reasons. Okay, which is fair enough. And that settled our minds at the time, because obviously we were worried about Lauren, my girlfriend, losing her home. I was thinking, shit, what's she going to do? Where's she going to go? Because I've given up my home. I'm living with my parents now. I'll have to get another home again, yeah, no, it weren't good. But luckily, luckily, we're not too bad. But it worked out in the end. But that's sorry, you do see things in the corner of your eyes sometimes. It's just shadows. But the fact that a woman's just died around the time when the hauntings started to get really severe, if not when they started, exactly when they started, that makes it spookier, because it gives you a sort of a reason why there's a female in the house that shouldn't be here, and why she might be quite hard to get rid of, because obviously if this was her house and her home, she's going to be hard to get rid of. But I'll protect my girlfriend as best I can, and the first step, as I say, is surveillance. Okay, so I'm going to go get a camera, go down to Curry's or whatever, or maybe Argos or something. I'll look on the internet first of all, see which one's got the best stuff, and let's do this. Let's do this. Right. Just after this, you'll find, as I say, real footage of what I just tidied up from the noises that happened last night. There was only one set of noises last night because I just weren't reacting to it. I would refuse to react to it because I feel like when I react to it, things just escalate. It's a stubborn ghost. This one is a stubborn ghost. You tell it to fuck off or to leave or just to shut up, it will make another noise. And I'm tired because the night before I barely got any sleep, so I'm happy to be going back to my parents for the next 5 to 6 nights at least. At least I can get some sleep there. Okay then, guys. See, hope you see the footage. It's not proof. I'm not saying it's proof. I know that we could have put the tins on the floor, and that is me not trying to prove the existence of ghosts or prove that there's a ghost here. It's just me sharing what's going on, and I know for certain, like my girlfriend, that there is a ghost here. We're not looking for approval or anything like that. We're just sharing it here to see if we can maybe get some answers or some help, or at least, especially when you get the surveillance cameras and stuff, some proof that shit is going on and how it's doing it, Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, so this is my girlfriend's kitchen. First of all, that tea towel was not on the floor, and obviously these tins here have not been on the floor either. Now, where they've come from is they've come from here. As you can see, clearly open, broad as daylight. Everything else looks like it's in place. The other time when we had this poltergeist attack, this had been moved and was facing this wall over here. And also, as well as that drawer, and that cupboard door were all open as well. But it was only one tin on the floor. I heard this last night. It happened within 2 to 5 minutes of us getting into bed. A dog heard it and started going mental, absolutely mental. Hang on, look, we've got another door open here as well. I'll keep my supplements and stuff, and I do a thorough check every night to make sure where everything is, what it looks like, and all the rest of it. And this is obviously all out of place. That shouldn't be open. That shouldn't have been open. And so what I'm going to do is, as I say, I'm going to buy a camera that can be left on all night. Place it somewhere in here and elsewhere as well, in the hallway and stuff. And maybe we'll start capturing this poltergeist, because the other day was horrendous. It was horrible, and we've had about another half a dozen. No, it happens almost every night. Not every night, but most nights. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this off now and actually go and get that camera. Just wanted to add it, actually. Basically, I noticed that this had hit the ground with so much force that you can't really pick it up on camera so much. There you go. It's flat here. It's flattened where it's hit the ground. So it's not just like this door was closed. If it had just been like it was like sort of leaning against the door, pushed it open, and then it fell. And I mean, you can see, my girlfriend didn't really put much stuff away last night, but we're cleaning up today. She was really tired last night with her leg and stuff. It would have hit a leather purse or a cardboard box and a floor and stuff. That would have taken some of the blow. And these floors are not tiles; they are soft. As you can see, that's it's soft. Sorry, I just thought I saw something else there. It's soft stuff. It's like almost not foam, but it's like that. Almost like when you go to a kid's playground and it's not concrete. It's soft concrete. It's like that. It's the equivalent. It's really, really, really soft. And waterproof as well, which is why it's in here. So for that to dent, it must have hit the floor with some force. And I'm trying to see if there's any damage to the floor. To be honest, I can't see anything. But there, my dog goes nuts. I mean, he literally goes nuts, and I've been out with him. At first we thought it was a human being, not in here, but it sounded like, obviously we just hear this big thud, and we thought it was a human being at the front door, or trying to break in, or or anything like that. So I've gone obviously to protect her. But there we go. I wanted to show you. I don't even know where these go. Oh, and that one's bent as well. The tomato soup is also bent. They probably come from there. This one is probably not the best. They've probably come from there. So what I mean. That is fairly stable. I mean, I know logically, yeah, they could fall, especially if we're. But we're not on this. If you put a spirit level on the floor or whatever, it'd be flat, or flat as flat can be. then those doors are magnetized. They don't open during the day. They don't open when people are here. If it opens now, I'll be crap myself. But and there was the door down there, obviously, that was open as well. So yeah, let's go get this camera.